Good morning, it's Gina D from Healing Heart TV, and welcome to another episode of Heart Jar Moments. That's right, I have a title for these little episodes I'm doing, and I'm going to explain to you in a minute what that's all about. But first of all, check out the full moon. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I love it when the moon is still full and you could see it in the morning, early morning light. Sun hasn't quite come up over the hill yet. If I start to squint and a lot of light's on my face, then you know the sun came up. But anyways, let's see. We're going to talk about why we're calling this Heart Jar Moments. I have this little jar here that was gifted to me a couple of years ago by a dear friend, Jasmine Freeman. Shout out to Jasmine, you rock. And it was, she's so creative, and it's a little jar where you were supposed to, throughout the coming year, anytime something special or fun or something that you really wanted to remember happened, write it down on a piece of paper, put it in the jar, and then the following New Year's Eve, open the jar and look at all the great things that you experienced throughout the year. And the year I got it was 2013. Actually, I'm not going to say it wasn't the best year for me. It was a very good year for me. It was a challenging year. I had split up from my previous relationship of 12 years, and I had to move out of my home, which was a challenge, and we'll talk about that on another episode. But anyways, I was thinking about, the other day when I was doing my episode, I was saying how I have a lot of things I want to share with you, and I didn't know where to start, so maybe I'll just write them down on pieces of paper and pull them out of a hat. So that's what I'm doing, except instead of a hat, we're using this little jar. And then I came up with this idea, Heart Jar Moments, because these things are coming from my heart. These experiences, these stories, this information I'm sharing is coming from my heart. And I'm writing them on little pieces of paper like this right here. And I'm just pulling them before I come out to shoot. And that's how I'm picking my subjects. So the one I pulled for today, and is really kind of, honestly, I pulled it on purpose because we're talking about the heart jar, but it's to remember not only the good things that have happened to you, but remember what you've learned. Remember how far you've come from certain things. We all have situations that are challenging in our life, and if you've been on the planet for a while, you've had some challenging situations. And even if you haven't been on the planet for a while, as we know, a lot of children have challenging situations, and a lot of them are really great learners and are old souls, those special ones that just seem to get it. And then some of us, it takes a little longer, but give yourself credit for where you have come, how far along you've come. I'm going to give you a simple example. This is a work example. I'm a photographer and a filmmaker, and last week I was pitching a photo shoot for a series of hotel chains. And while I was doing it, they needed to see a specific portfolio on just hotels. And I thought, I don't really have a lot of hotels. I am mostly a filmmaker, and they wanted to see still photos specifically. And I didn't think I had a lot of hotel stuff or something that would be pertinent to that. But anyways, I looked through my files, and all of a sudden I started finding all these things that were great architecture photos, great hotel room photos, different stuff that I've done over the last couple of years that was perfect for the portfolio. But you know what? I had just forgotten. And don't you find that happens? Like, you forget that you've done something. Maybe you forgot that you learned something, a little tip or a tool that's worked for you, whether it was, stretching in the morning, or whether it was taking a moment to breathe, whatever these little tips are. So take a moment and just remember something that you've learned. Could have been watching an Oprah episode that you learned a tip. And you know what? Most people say, oh, those things don't work. They say that because they're not practicing it. Of course it doesn't work if you don't practice it. And sometimes we have such busy lives, and we focus on our problems too much, or we focus on what has to be done and doing the Christmas shopping and getting ready for the party and all these things that we just forget. That's all it is. So we need to help remind each other. Maybe you have a friend who needs a little reminder on how to get past something. Maybe you need your friend to remind you of something that you've done. Maybe you're having trouble remembering the progress you've made. But just know that you have made progress. You're here. You know, even if you're going through a challenging time right now, you've made progress throughout your life to get where you are. And if you're going through a good time right now, how did you get here? So that's really what I wanted to share today. Just remember where you've come from, how far you've gone. Give yourself some credit. Don't beat yourself up. We're all on this journey, learning and growing, and that's really what it's about. And so stay tuned. I'm gonna actually, look, it's got this silly little scratch, chicken scratch on it. It says Heart Jar Moments. I need to come up with a logo to make this really fun and exciting. So maybe you guys have ideas and you want to send it out. Remember, comment, share, pass this around. The whole idea of this project is to share information, to share tools with each other, to give each other a little boost in the morning or the evening or whatever, just to remind each other of things that work. So I hope you have a great day, and I love the comments. I love having that conversation with you, and that really means a lot to me, and that is my heart moment. That's why I do this, is so I could share my heart with you.